Hello, welcome to Quite Simply, where we quite simply talk about whatever I feel like talking about on any given day, all while doing my LED masking. No cameras that are fancy, no lights that are fancy, no fancy microphones. It's just me, you, and my laptop in my very, very cluttered office. So today I thought I would have a chat about my experience with Botox. Now, I want to say, first of all, I don't care what you do with your face or body. It's your body, it's your choice. I'm not going to comment, I'm not going to judge. In fact, who am I to judge? I have tried things. I am not immune to wanting to do a little bit of self improvement. Clearly, I'm doing LED masking as many times a week as I can muster. And I mask and I cleanse, and it's all important to me. So I don't want anyone getting it wrong when I say what I'm about to say about Botox or my feelings about it, because it's about me, not you. So let's just say 70 odd moons ago, I started to notice a line down here. Now, I know people get 11s, but I don't. I've just got a 1, and it was getting deeper and deeper as the time went on, and the more time I spent in front of my computer thinking while doing work. And it started to make me feel uncomfortable. It was all I could see. I'd look in the mirror and I wouldn't see anything else. I'd just see this big line growing deeper, making me look angry, making me look like I had a stink nose going on, like I was smelling something bad. And I just started to feel more and more uncomfortable about myself. And so what I decided to do was have a little consultation at one of our local Botox clinics, which also specialise in lots of other facial things. If you hear some scratching, that's my cat. She's okay. She just has FOMO. She'll be fine. She'll get lots of love after this. Anyway, back to the story. I went and I made an appointment, and so the lady was lovely. She sat me down, she had a look, she said to me, we'll do 20 units in this part here, the glabella, which I always want to call a glabula, like a spatula, but it's not. Glab, Glabella, if you want to look it up. And she said that it'll last, usually it lasts 2 to 3 months, and there's a payment plan, and it means that you can come in every 3 months and get a top up or get it redone. And I thought, sweet, that sounds good. I can afford that. I think it was around $450 every 3 months for the 20 units. And I was like, okay, we'll do it. And so we did it. And I got to be honest, it didn't really hurt that much. There was a little bit of redness. What did freak me out, and was probably the first thing that made me uncomfortable with it, was I was really afraid that if I didn't follow the rules exactly to a T for longer than necessary, then I'd end up getting one of those like sinky eyelids, or have something go wrong, or the Botox would migrate. And so what they recommend is that you stand up, you're upwards for a couple of hours afterwards. You don't do any crazy physical activity. You're not to be like doing any massage around this area. And for me, I'm an anxious personality. I was like, if I touch it, everything will go wrong. If I put on makeup, it will go wrong. I can't put on moisturizer, it will go wrong. If I cleanse my face, it will go wrong. And so I already had heightened anxiety about this Botox that I got, which I wanted. And anyway, they said it would take 2 weeks for it to settle in until I saw the full results. So as you do, every single moment I stood in front of a mirror, and surely enough, I started to see this line start to just disappear. It never completely went away, but at like 99%, it was just the tiniest hint of it. And oh my gosh, apart from the fact that I was constantly paranoid for the first few days, I was so happy. I thought this is the bee's knees. And could I move this area? Not at all. Actually, no, I could move other areas. Like I could still move this, and I could still move these, and I could, move all this, just not that bit in around there, which is where, I'm a very expressive person. Like I just, my hands are always moving, and my face is always doing things, and, I have movement. What I did start to notice though was that I started getting new wrinkles in the corners of my eyes, like little bunny lines coming out, sort of from my nose, from trying to make the area move. Not on purpose, just because it wants to. And I was like, I don't know if I want to have extra wrinkles. So that kind of became another, do I really want to continue this? But then I thought, no, you know what? I just have to learn to control my emotions a bit more. So I was very happy. I was like, at the end of the day, once every 3 months, I can handle being a bit nervous / terrified for a few days at a time while the Botox settled in. Anyway, cut to say 3 weeks later, I was sitting there doing my work in front of my computer, and suddenly I felt the most weirdest sensation in my forehead. And I was like, what the heck's going on? And I ran downstairs to the mirror in the bathroom, and my forehead had hulked out. Like, seriously, it wrinkled up, and it was just, I don't know what was going on. I was fully freaked out. And then, I kind of touched it, and it smoothed down and calmed down. And I was like, okay, all right, well, it was once. We'll just ignore that. Surely enough, a couple of days later, it happened again. It just hulked out. And I was like, what the heck? And I looked closer, and you could see the wrinkle again. And I was like, what's going on? This is meant to last, 2 to 3 months, and it's not even 4 weeks at this point. So I got in touch with the clinic, and they said to me, come on in, we'll have a look. And so I went on in, and they said to me, it's just that sometimes for some people they need more units in their forehead or in your glabella, and you are one of those people. So we can put in another 8 units, so it would be 28 units, of course, of which I would have to pay for. There was no offer of doing it for free to prove to me that this wasn't a failed batch, which can happen. And I just thought about it and went, is it worth it at the end of the day? I mean, yes, I really enjoyed having this like less of a wrinkle in the middle of my head, in the middle of my face, but I was paranoid for 3 days solid, and then it didn't work, and I was paying all that money for something that didn't do what it said it was going to do, and then I was going to have to pay even more money, and even then there was no guarantee it would do it. And I stopped, and I thought about it, and I had to think quite quickly, because even though this place is lovely, there was that feeling of pressure. And I just said to them, I don't think this is for me. I think I'm going to go home, and if I change my mind, I'll be back. And so I went home and I sat with it, and I sat with it some more. And then literally at week 5, the whole thing had given up the ghost, and I was back to being able to move my forehead. The glabella, whatever you want to call it, that muscle there, was in full form once again. And I never went back. And I decided that Botox, at this point in my life, even 5 years on, is not for me. And you know how I know that for sure? Because this year we entered a Mother's Day raffle, which had many different prizes, and I won the one raffle that gave you free Botox. And the woman was dead keen to put it in me, and I was happily able to say, no, thank you. I am fine. And I am fine. I mean, at the end of the day, this is my face. Not that you can see it, not that you'll ever get to see it, because I do want some level of anonymity, because the internet freaks me out. But I've worked hard for this face. I have lovely smile lines from all the times I have giggled and laughed and been happy. I have a very deep line down here from all of the thinking that I do, and I am constantly overthinking and just normal thinking, both thinkings, all the thinkings. I have lines coming down here from all the, once again, grinning that I do. I have lines from here from all the, oh my gosh, what is going on with this world? Muscles in my forehead. I'm a liney person, and I'm cool with it. Look, I'm even a sun-damaged person. That's a whole other thing. Oh my gosh, don't sunbathe. That's one thing. I tell you, don't you, but I will give you one thing. Don't sunbathe, and always wear sunblock. We didn't know we did know, but we didn't really realise the impact of that back in the mid-90s. If I knew then, I would have done it. Well, I would have put on sunblock and not sunbathed, but that's okay. It is what it is. We live and we learn. But yes, Botox, not for me. Fillers, definitely not for me. Maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe I won't. But yeah, no, I'm good with it. But I'll never do, as far as I'm concerned, at this point in time in the near future. I just don't see myself doing Botox again. But if you want to do it, go for it. I know people who do it and love it, and they look fabulous. I don't do it, and I'm quite comfortable and content with how I look. It is my body. It is my choice. It's what I'm doing. No Botox for me, and that's all I have to say about that. Right, my darlings, I'm off. I have a cat to cuddle and a cup of tea to make. Have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.